Hi there, carrying on with getting through the new Alien Frontiers stuff. This is faction pack number 3. I'd just like to say also, I put in the various Alien tech cards and stuff. This is set up for a 4-player game. The Alien tech, the free cards are out, every player's got one. And look at the stack you've got to go through as well. That is a lot, isn't it? A lot of variability now. Yeah. I don't know what the feasibility is of seeding the deck so that it will interact with various factions and not watering the deck too much down with ones that may not be appropriate. But anyway, that's another issue. And of course, the faction cards themselves, for the in-game and end-game bonuses, tons and tons of them now. So really is shaping up to be such a real good game. The outer belt, we run through that yesterday, I think it was, and that looks really cool. So, and then I thought to myself, well, really the outer belt goes to the right of the board, but what real difference is it over Alien Tech? Because you can go up to the Alien Artifact and either cycle or get an Alien Tech card. Well, the outer belt is more or less the same thing, but it isn't, because obviously the cards are different, but they could have just been Alien Tech cards in the first place, so that really cancels that out. But with the outer belt, they're quite fun. There is another place to dock, which only really interacts with the outer belt stuff. But there's 4 of them. You have to kind of catch them, and they're going to cycle around the board continuously until you retrieve them. So yeah, the outer belt, I think there's definitely a place for it, and I think it's another little layer of fun to Alien Frontiers. So let's go on with faction pack number 3, and this is on the edge of human space with power and resources ripe for the taking. Planet Maxwell is the perfect home base for the piratical brethren of the stars. Their code is simple: what's yours is mine, and hijacking a ship now and then is all in a day's work. And of course, this is a booster pack for the Factions expansion to Alien Frontiers board game. This is not a standalone game, and you need Alien Frontiers board base game, and you need the Factions to play with the faction booster packs. So this is pack number 3. We have a small deck of cards. We have the Great Coaster itself, I love those. A rule sheet, and in this pack, pack number 3, you get the dice as well, like pirate dice. So I'd say this is probably the most fun pack of the lot, really, of the booster packs. I like the Sunrise Commune. I like the look of that one the best, by an absolute mile. I think it's lovely. But for fun, I think this Brethren of the Stars is the best booster pack. So let's have a look. Take it out and get these cards out of here. So this is what we have. Oh, and let's get the dice out as well. Right, first of all, we have another Alien Tech card to add to our deck, and this is the Ship Breaker Drone, and we got like this robotic drone that's just demolishing it. It's almost eating a ship here. It's demolishing it. So the first thing we can do with it, if you have 5 or 6 ships of your player colour in your fleet, you may return one of your unused ships to the stock for its shipyard value in fuel and ore. Now the key thing there is 5 or 6, and there is a reason for that. So let's say I was pink and we got all 6, and it says if you have 5 or 6 ships of your player colour in your fleet, you may return one of your unused ships, so it has to be in your hand, not on the board, unused ship to the stocks for its shipyard value. Well, if I've got 6 out, this is counted as my 6th ship because I have 6 ships out, and I will get free fuel and free ore, and this will go back in the stocks. But I'm getting quite a bit for it, aren't I? I'm getting the free fuel and the free ore. And then you're thinking, well, it costs free fuel and free ore to get it this way at the shipyard, but maybe towards the end game you really may not need all your ships, and the free fuel and free ore may be a lot more appetizing, and you might be able to really seal the deal by getting those resources. So obviously, if you only have 5 ships out in the meantime, you could put 1 die, your 5th ship, over into the stocks, left with 4, and you will get 2 fuel and 2 ore. And of course, the rules are that on this shipbreaker drone, if you have 4, you simply cannot use it. It's your 5th or 6th ship. So quite a good card there. Or you can discard this card to perform the above action on 2 ships from your fleet of 5 or 6 ships of your player colour. So you could discard the shipbreaker drone. If you had all 6 ships out, you could get rid of 2 in one go, and I would get 5 ore and 5 fuel. Now obviously that will break the limits of what you can carry on to the next round, but if you're going to do that, I'm pretty damn sure you would have good reason, and you're going to spend that go, and it may even like I say, seal the deal for you that go. So that is the Shipbreaker drone. Great card, and that is inspired by W. David Mackenzie, the founder of Clever Mojo Games. Right, in here also we have a Brethren of the Stars faction card for the coaster, so we will not be needing to use them rules after the initial look, because if Brethren of the Stars gets taken by a player, then here's the card for it. Pretty much like the Sunrise Commune has got its own car and so forth. They all have now, once you get the packs. So that is for that. And then we've got 2 faction agenda cards, excuse me. And the first one, the in-game objective. When you use the Shipbreaker drone to destroy one of your ships, well, we've just seen how that happens. So this is key. If to use this in-game objective, you would need this alien tech. So that goes on to how we would maybe seed that deck, because the chances of this coming out in a deck, if it was near the bottom with this, you can see there might be some balance issues. So you may want to, it'd be interesting to see if anybody puts up some charts for good decks to seed, keeping it random, but good decks to seed, so that the probabilities of different cards coming out to bounce off each other will work. So when you use the Shipbreaker drone to destroy one of your ships, you may reveal this card immediately and score 1 victory point. Dead simple. So destroy one of your ships with this. As long as you got this in-game objective, you get a victory point. And it's in your nature to destroy yourselves. That's the flavour text. The end game objective. If at the game's end you have the Shipbreaker drone and exactly 4 ships, reveal this card and score 1 victory point. Well, if you had 6 ships, you had the Shipbreaker drone, timing is everything obviously in Alien Frontiers towards the end, you would, on purpose, whether you needed the stocks or not, destroy 2 of your ships, and you would get an extra victory point for the end game objective here. The next card, the Alien faction card, the agenda. The in-game one is, when you use the Brethren ship to hijack a ship at the alien artifact. So the Brethren ship is this, either this die, or if you're playing with rocket dice, this one. So when you use the Brethren ship to hijack a ship at the alien artifact, you may reveal this card immediately and score 1 victory point. Let's go be bad guys. Yeah. We'll see how this works better when we explain the Brethren of the Stars. I think we should come back to this card and explain Brethren of the Stars first to see how that interacts. So, Brethren of the Stars, it's quite, looks quite good this. So, let's have a look. The faction board. This is it. The Brethren of the Stars faction owner may roll the Brethren ship along with his or her regular fleet of ship. If the ship comes up blank, it is set aside until the owner's next turn. So if you've got the Brethren of the Stars faction board, each turn, let's say, well, in our games we're going to be playing, we won't be playing with the ship, we'll be playing with the nice square edge dice. Let's say, again, I've got 4 ships out, I will automatically roll the black I'll call it the pirate die, they call it the brethren die. And on this, there's a 50-50 chance. D6, 6 sides to a die. And there's 1, 2, 3, and 3 blanks. So there's 50-50 chance of rolling a pirate skull. So let's roll it. And I've rolled one. So we rolled a skull. And it says, the Brethren of the Stars faction owner may roll the Brethren ship along with his or her regular fleet of ship. If the ship comes up blank, it's set aside. Nothing else happens until the owner's next turn, when they try it again. If it comes up with the raider icon, which is the skull, it's got like a skull with grabbers on it, like the grabbing machine. It's got 4 of them coming out. So if it comes up with the raider icon, the faction owner may use it to hijack any one die on the board and replace it with the Brethren ship. Yeah? The faction owner then rolls the hijacked ship and uses the hijacked ship as his or her own ship, except that the hijacked ship may not come from or go to the terraforming station.
Go.
Yeah, so the only rule is that the hijacked ship cannot come from or go to the terraforming station up here. Yeah. So,
Go.
yeah. So let's put this into practice. I've rolled the skull with the grabbers on, and so now I can hijack. I'm pink, and I can hijack somebody's ship. So it can't be from here, and nobody is on the terraforming station anyway. Let's say I go to the lunar mine, and I'm going to take the 6 red. I place the, let's call it the pirate die, the brethren die. Place it there, it blocks that position. I now get the red die. I roll it. I got a 5, and I add that to my pool of dice. Very powerful. I love it. So you've got a 50-50 chance, haven't you, of rolling the skull? But really, really neat. And of course, this blocks this position here for other people until it gets re-rolled or removed through game effects. So let's just carry on with the rules. While the Brethren ship is on the board, it has no value, but it does block a docking port, and it is subject to any rule or card that would move any other ship. If the Brethren ship is on the board at the start of the faction owner's turn, it is removed from the board along with the faction owner's other ships. And then you would roll it again and see, I got a skull, and I got nothing that time. So that is how that is used. Really, really neat. And then the other rule is, if the Brethren ship is already on the board, a player, so let's put him back where he was, a player docked at the Brethren of the Stars, so they would come over here, let's say Green has, it's his go. He comes onto, I own the Brethren of the Stars, he comes over here, he places it on the point. As usual, he pays 1 fuel to me for the privilege of using my Brethren of the Stars faction. So if the Brethren ship is already on the board, a player docked at the Brethren of the Stars may move it to an empty docking port at the lunar mine and take 1 ore token. So in this case that would not work, but let's say there was an empty space on the lunar mine. Brethren and Stars may move it to an empty docking port at the lunar mine. So let's say the Brethren was not already on the lunar mine, it was elsewhere on the board, up here, say, elsewhere on the board. You can go there, pay a fuel, and then place this on the lunar mine and get a ore. And the good thing about that is you've got 4, a 5, a 5 and a 6 here. It doesn't matter what number this is on, you're going to nick an ore for the privilege. So an ore for a fuel is quite a good take for the price of getting a fuel there. So that's pretty good. So you take the 1 ore token, and while the Brethren ship is on the board, it has no value, but it does block the docking port, and it is subject to any rule that would move it. So if we look at this final card quickly, when you use the Brethren ship to hijack a ship at the alien artifact So if you hijacked a ship over here at the alien artifact, you may reveal this card immediately and score 1 victory point. So you'd wait for somebody to go there to actually do this to get your victory point. And then the end game objective is, if at the game's end the Brethren ship is docked at an orbital or faction facility, reveal this card and score 1 victory point. So if it's a faction facility, on the...
Oh.
So if at the end of the game, the end game objective, just had to look at this again, if the Brethren ship, the pirate die, is docked at an orbital or faction facility, reveal this card and score 1 victory point. So if it's not in play on the board, it will stay here docked at the Brethren of the Stars. You would, at game end, you would score a victory point. Or if it was at an orbital facility on the board, then if it's docked on one of them, you would score 1 victory point. And that is the Brethren of the Stars faction pack number 3. Thanks for watching.